Hey there, I'm Sean Collins, and I'm the esports reporter with the Dallas Morning News, covering OpTic Texas in the Call of Duty League. And we're about 3 days removed from the end of Major 2. OpTic Texas placed top 6. It was an underwhelming performance from them, but there's still signs that they're going to be a top contender the rest of the season. I did post an article today giving some of the details on why I think that is. There are some quotes in here from Hector as well as Rambo that are exclusive, so make sure to check that out if you get the chance. But I just wanted to talk about, 3 points of emphasis for OpTic Texas in this month-long break of going into Stage 3. First of all, before I say any of these or talk about any of it, I think that, a good break for them is going to be good. A week off, I'm not saying, absolute grind season for the entire month. I think that a week off is going to be more helpful than if they just went straight in and grinded the entire month off. But anyways, getting right into it, Search and Destroy. I think this is the most obvious one. They went 1-4 in S&D at Major 2. And there's a couple things that I think they could do that'll fix this, and it mostly, revolves around map pool. I think their Desert Siege is obviously better than it was at the start of the season. How they would compete against some of the better teams, like FaZe or Rucker or the LA Gorillas in this mode. Is kind of yet to be seen on Desert Siege, but I do think that map is getting better in their pool. They're going to have to tune up their Bocage and their Berlin, though, especially the Berlin. I think it's mostly just about play style and like how they're operating in the comms and playing together, and that kind of like transitions into my next point, which I think they kind of just need to slow it down. They're playing so fast, and obviously they have a lot of talent, and they've got great slaying power. But OpTic is playing its best whenever they're playing, methodical Call of Duty where everybody's on the same page. They're communicating with each other. And I think Illy kind of gets a bad rep a little bit for the kill death ratio wise, because when OpTic is struggling, it usually means Illy is struggling. And that's because he's very much like playing for the team, and he's playing a team-oriented game. And whenever OpTic isn't doing that, it kind of makes him look worse than it actually is. And that doesn't mean that Illy doesn't have bad maps or doesn't make mistakes, because he does, and there are things that he could work on as well. But overall, I think OpTic is just going to be best off to just slow the game down for themselves. Like, I know that Vanguard can get mixy, obviously, and there are a lot of unpredictable things and elements, but I think OpTic is going to be better off if they just slow the pace down in all of their game modes, except for, maybe control at times. But I think that's going to be helpful. And another thing that I see, it's not that OpTic's hard point is necessarily bad right now, as much as like they really need to be winning these early maps more often. They're putting themselves in a big hole, and it's great for them that their control can really be used as a swivel or a turning point in some of these series to regain momentum, because it's so consistent and it's their best mode. But they'd be better off if their Search and Destroy or their hard point was their best mode. They were losing early hardpoint maps. That Bocage versus Seattle was obvious, but they also go down 2-0 to the LA Thieves, and they go down early in the series. Other teams that they played against. I don't know why it's escaping me. The Florida Mutineers. Yeah, I mean, like they're losing the first maps in the series, and that's just not a spot that OpTic should be putting themselves in, even if they are one of the better teams in the league. They start winning those early hard points, and their Search and Destroy cleans up a little bit. They're going to be back to being one of the best teams in the league.